you could be looking like a future king of the music industry after proving that not only are you more than a one-hit wonder you were believed to be, but a record-breaking artist who knew how to wrap the culture around your finger with meticulous marketing skills. The next, all of those tactics, which once paid off, aren't hitting the same anymore,
Am I, like,
as
missing
people begin
pieces?
to wonder if there's any real substance behind all the formerly shocking antics that they're now accustomed to. You might wonder how it's possible that someone who has 3 Billboard
How's it
number
going?
ones could fumble
Bro,
this badly. But
these are just
this
2
isn't
bags.
a hypothetical
There's
situation.
3 bags.
It really happened to one rapper whose
What up,
bag of
Drake?
tricks now looks pretty empty.
Some racks building occurring. Bro, there were so many pieces. Like, here was one bag. I can't see my desk. There's hella pieces. And there's 2 other bags. The instructions is 50 pages long.
And whose music and media manipulation isn't hitting anywhere
I'm like
the
trying to
same
find
anymore.
one piece right now.
It's your boy
but
Luis,
I don't know if I'm like blind
and this
or
is the fall
stupid or
of Lil
what.
Nas X. These days, Lil Nas X's music videos might score 1 million views or 2, with some fans clicking on to see what this once infamous creative is now doing. And while some people would be delighted with those views, it's a major decline for a man whose breakout song has over 1 billion on the platform, with several others approaching that mark. Likewise, he hasn't had a single chart on the billboards since January
Can I answer
2024,
that? Yeah.
and even then, it was a far
Autism
cry from the
occupied.
history-making runs
We
he was
got
once
YouTube going, chat going. I'm building Legos. Bro, there's a new furry game me and Jason are playing after this.
going on. And now, people including the infamous Azalea Banks are starting to take notice. Lil Nas X really
What is
fell off
Azalea
so
Banks
hard.
even
That little
famous
rag
for?
swore she was the T. Bitch has no bars. Even though he rightly clapped back to claim that he would still be more successful than her without another hit in his entire career, that's ultimately not where this Atlanta-based LGBTQ artist wants to be.
Bro,
At just 26 years old,
I'm
the
literally
last thing they
missing
should
one
be doing
piece.
is
I can't
relying
find
on
it.
past wins. And during his early rise, it seemed like that was the last thing he intended to do. In fact, he had dreams of being a generational artist who could make it in any genre he chose.
I'm not gonna ever have
It's
one
not a
sound.
game.
And it's not that I'm confused about what I'm trying
It's
to be.
about-
It's that
did I
I'm not
drop
trying
it?
to have one sound. I don't want people like, okay, oh, another Lil Nas X song, basically.
But to trace how it went wrong, we first need to head back to the beginning to pinpoint exactly where he started taking the wrong turns. Since he first gained prominence, Lil Nas X has always been immersed in controversy. Arguably, he was trained for it after
I'm
spending
gonna
his
set
time as
piece
a
by
barb,
piece
leading
to
a
the
Nicki
side until I
Minaj stan
find it.
account called Nas Mirage in his youth. But just living vicariously through
Dude, bro, didn't Drake used to run fan accounts and shit?
his idol wasn't enough for him. Instead, Nas had dreams of obtaining fame in his own right, and soon he dropped out of school to pursue music. And as a little unemployed kid with little to no prospects, he had no choice but to make it. And after dropping a few tracks in hope of making it, he was no further forward. That is until he stumbled upon a track produced by the Dutch
She nodded
producer Young
yes.
Keo, which he purchased for $30.
Me ain't got meetups, yeah, dude.
My beats like from YouTube. I'll just go through like 100 beats.
It's really just luck that people just find your stuff, you know? It's really luck.
I found the beat on like Halloween night. The beat was just speaking to me, you know. I was like, this song's gonna be great.
Did you conceive of the song as a country rap song?
Country trap. But like if I had to choose which one is more leaning towards, it would definitely be country. I got the horses in the bag.
Horse stock is attached. Hat is matted black. Got the bushes black to match.
That beat became
That's
the
crazy.
origins of Old Town Road, a simple song
Old
which
Town Road
fused
was
hip-hop
lit.
with classic country imagery. And from the outset, Nas knew that he had a winner due to his knowledge of how the meme-infested world worked. I got the
I
horses in
found
the back.
it!
I was like, this
I fucking found it! I was looking for this little bitch ass piece for a hot fucking minute. Why are all the pieces the exact same fucking color?
is gonna be the highlight of the memes right here, he informed NPR. And then, the cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty. I was like, these are all quotable. I was just doing that the entire month of making the song. Put this right here. Oh, this is gonna be the best plan ever. And you know it worked. After promoting the song through TikTok at a time when the platform was just taking off, Old Town Road became an online sensation, and soon it made its attack on the Billboard Hot 100. And here, we have the first time that Lil Nas X learned that controversy will only make you a bigger star when a ruling was made that it should be excluded from the country charts. Upon further review, it was determined that Old Town Road by Lil Nas X does not currently merit inclusion on Billboard's country
I
chart.
finished the
When
first
determining
piece.
genres, a few factors are examined. But
Bro,
first
why does this have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces in this little brick? This in normal. What?
and foremost is musical composition. While Old Town Road incorporates references to country and cowboy imagery, it does not embrace enough elements of today's country music to
They were
chart in
hating
its
for
current
that, bro.
version. With accusations of discrimination in the air, Lil Nas had the culture on his side, with everyone believing that it should be reinstated immediately.
When you get to like the country charts, you know what I'm saying? And then they pull your song off the country charts when they say it's not country enough or it's not country music. Does that affect you in any way?
At first it was just like, all right, okay, I'm still on the Billboard.
For what?
Right.
But then
I'm cooking
I
now,
looked
bro.
at, what people were saying. I was like, okay, this does make sense. Okay, like I'm listening to other songs and I'm like, there's some trap elements in some of these. What's going on? And like, it was like, okay. I was like disappointed. It was just like, okay, whatever. I didn't want to get, blackballed.
Yeah. And then you probably didn't want to play that whole black card too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that too,
saying?
because it's like,
Because I played it
never
for
wanna-
you. I was like, man, if he was Caucasian, they would have him on there. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't have to say it. You know?
I didn't.
With Billy Ray Cyrus eventually coming to his aid for a version that could enable them to make the country charts, Lil Nas maintained that the song is country trap. It's not one, it's not the other, it's both. It should be on both. Well, whatever it was, the fact is that it was doing the kinds of numbers he could live off forever.
I mean, you beat Drake #1 streaming. Like how?
I don't like saying beat Drake. Let's just say I did #1 screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but that's a really big deal for 20 years
Loyalty,
old.
loyalty.
Yeah, it is. It's insane.
Dude, I'm
You're
cooking right now,
speechless
Shay.
at this point. Exactly.
Every single day.
Over time, it reached an unprecedented 17th week at #1, beating Despacito to become the all-time longest running #1. Since then, that figure has expanded to 19 weeks, making him a true record breaker. While the song and the remixes that came with it were still riding high, Lil Nas X's 7 EP proved that he wasn't a one-trick pony with tracks like Panini, but it also marked the turning point where he revealed that
Panini
he
was a good
gay
song.
by coming out with the release of the insightful track Closure.
Said,
New Life.
baby.
In the aftermath, it became a part of the narrative around him, and by telling his story, he hoped it could have had an impact on others.
Don't you think you coming out could probably help others who are struggling the way you were struggling with it?
I think it's gonna always help, you still have a long way to go because it's not like everybody.
Bro, people were hating
like,
when they
messing
found
with
out he
me
was
now.
gay.
But of course, somebody who's like listening to me in school right now, it's like you gay because you listening to him. So it's like it's still a lot to be done, of course, but I do believe it's helping.
In a culture that's as macho
Imagine like listening to a gay artist like, am I gay?
as hip-hop, that was always going to be an obstacle to overcome. And with Lil Nas choosing
The next
to deploy it by being
page.
as loud and proud with his sexuality as possible, it's definitely not ever been something listeners could forget. Still, he had high hopes of a lengthy career.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself somewhere that I can't even imagine right now. Yeah.
With your music, do you see it taking off? You want to
Definitely.
focus on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do music, but I'm also gonna do a lot of other stuff too. So it's not just one source of income type of thing.
Absolutely. Are we gonna have more country hip hop songs coming out?
Yeah, I can't say that for sure how many or when, because I'm not gonna force any kind of music. So if it works, then it's working. But if it
In the
doesn't,
box, oh my god,
And
bro.
it was easy to see
Literally,
why-
that game was on my Steam For You page, like recommended, and as soon as I saw it, everyone was like, dude, Jason's gonna love this game.
After all, between a chaotic Twitter account and his use of music videos, he was quickly being hailed as a marketing genius.
This dude has literally memed his way to the top. Like, this dude is incredibly plugged into meme culture, millennial and Zoomer humor. The dude really seems to understand what his audience wants.
Despite initial fears that he would fade into obscurity once the buzz over his country rap crossover track died down, he had a slew of tracks like Panini and his Christmas track Holiday, which also did well. But everyone knew he was up against the
I don't remember
expectation
that.
that he couldn't exceed what he's done, including Lil Nas himself.
The truth is, Old Town Road is like super huge. So people they're looking for stuff to say, I guess, that could be used against me, And even though I have a song Rodeo 2 times platinum, Panini 5 times platinum, Holiday's doing really great, it's like, oh, we don't care, you're still a one-hit wonder. And it's like that doesn't make sense. How is that possible? And some people may genuinely think so, which is fine because there are some people that aren't super into pop culture, so they may only know this thing about me, and I guess it's fine. It's something I carry on my back. There's literally people that say things like, why is he even still making music? He'll never have a song that's bigger than. It's like, That literally doesn't make sense.
His
in
red hair
logic.
is
It's
crazy,
like,
bro.
I'm making
It's
music because I
dyed
love
so
making
well.
music.
Initially, it looked to be a concern, as while other songs received fanfare, they didn't have anywhere near that kind of motion that his breakout hit did. However, it wouldn't be long until he hit it
Bro,
big
I'm
again.
cooking,
The only
chat.
problem is that once he got that second #1, he began running that formula into the ground, to the point that it'd also be the beginning of the end. In 2020, Lil Nas X unveiled the now
Oh my
notorious
God, yeah.
Montero Call Me By Your Name. Not long after Old Town Road dropped, he was teasing new tracks, and he knew he had to come with something special for the rollout of this song when the snippet started to gain traction.
I put the snippet out in like June. I was like, oh, people really fucking with this. I didn't know what's gonna happen, but it was like
Montero,
my biggest,
no,
like, snippet,
I
you know?
like this.
It's like, cool. And I immediately started thinking, I was like, what should I do for this video? And I got this one lyric that's called, if even in your garden, you know that you can't call me when you want, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, let me take this to like these religious theme and flip it on to my own, you know? And I had a lot of fun with it. And I kind of like took something that really made me hate myself as a child and kind of made it into my own thing, you know?
The end result was a music video that enlisted a whole host of religious imagery and even featured him giving the devil a lap dance prior to snapping his neck. But that's not all. Alongside a whole host of proactive posts on social media, the rollout of the track was accompanied by the release of the special
people were pissed about this, bro. They were livid. They were like boycotting Nike and shit.
edition Air Max Nikes featuring a whole host of satanic symbolism. And with that, Lil Nas X became the enemy of conservative media and had pastors losing their minds.
I didn't even know who Lil Nash X was. Little thug, whoever. I had no idea who he was. We was riding this morning. Hudson said, well, you know what made him famous? I said, well, he said, it was that horses song. Got my horses and whatever that song. I was like, man, that song got a cool beat. I'll never be able to listen to it again. Bunch of devil worshiping, wicked nonsense. Pentagram wearing on your Nike tennis shoes 6'6".
Bro, pastors think they're eating, bro, when they talk like this. They think they're munching. Like, I can never listen to that shit again. Pentagram wearing, like, bro, shut up. Shut the fuck up. That's funny.
You think I'm gonna stand for that? You've lost your mind. You tell Lil Nash X I said so. Bunch of Satanism, bunch of wickedness.
Bro, you think Lil Nash, as you call him, gives a fuck what you think, bro? You're like preaching, bro, and there's like fold out chairs. Your altar is made of driftwood. You know what I mean? There's like a shitty blue flame mural behind you. You know what I mean, bro? Like, no offense to pastors, but you're like one of like the lowest paid people in the world, bro.
Bunch of devilism, bunch of demonism.
You literally collect money and brainwash people in the church to like give like 10% of their income to the church, and no one knows where it goes, no one sees it. It gets spent on missions, it's non-taxed income. You guys ever wonder, like, when you're like at church and they're just taking, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars every single day, like, where the fuck is that money going? No one ever questions it.
All the while, the track rose to #1, eventually going 7 times platinum. Once again, the belief from the music industry was that the Columbia-backed artist understood exactly
Dude, I'm
what he was
eating right
doing.
now.
A powerful music video can spark a larger
Never
conversation and create a real movement.
I always
Kevin
fucked with Lil
Meenan,
Nas X.
music charts manager at YouTube, said to Billboard, Lil Nas X has been very explicit that this was his goal. He's a genius. He really knows how to capitalize on the moment and keep it going. But while he was naturally celebrated by the LGBTQ community for pushing boundaries, it marked the point that hip-hop began to lose sight of what he was trying to do. I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that he don't understand Old Town Road is every kid's anthem, tweeted Joyner Lucas in the wake of its release. Children love him for that record. They tuned in and subscribed to his channels. So with no disclaimer, he just dropped some left field-ish and all of our kids seen it.
I mean, I can
Shaking
get
my
that. Like, it was like a very, very popular kids song, but you know, I doubt that was his like goal. It's like, oh my god, if this is popular amongst the kids, and then he dropped some fucking crazy shit. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with like demon imagery and stuff like that, but like if my kid is young, like really young, I don't want them watching like twerking and lap dances and things like that. Like, I want them out in the yard playing in the field and hitting their sister with sticks and not questioning like shit like that when they're that young. They gotta be a kid.
And from this point on, Lil Nas
But
had to
I watched
acknowledge
way
that he
worse
wasn't
growing
fitting
up
in with
and-
rap music anymore, or even being deemed as an artist working in that field. Honestly, I don't feel as respected in hip hop or many music
I
places
got no
in general.
horses
Lil
in the
Nas
bag.
X told XXL, but these are communities that I am a part of. Whether people would like it or not, this is something that I wanted to do because, not that my entire album is rap, but there are rap tracks on my
Who
album.
works with kids? Like, there's no, like, social media is just, like, throws us all together. Like, back when we were kids, like, social media kept adults and kids separated, you know what I mean? Like, we had games and areas and chat rooms where we could go for just kids, and yeah, they're like adults being dangerous as fuck in there, but like nowadays we're all just fucking mixed together.
I am a rapper, I am a pop star, I am a gay artist, but it's like I belong in these places, you know? Despite his belief that he should be given credit where it's due, much of the hip-hop establishment
church tries to meet a
continued to
conversion
rally
camp
against him. And stunts like pretending to
for
be
the money.
pregnant with
Wait,
his
did you
album
go there?
didn't improve his credibility either.
Like when I'm talking about this shit, I'm so serious. This dude is trolling, bro. Like, hey, bro, I'm not fucking with Lil Nas. It's what the world is accepting. You know, they're accepting it because, like, you taking girls' Instagram for showing their nipples or printing their nipples. But you can let a man be pregnant? You can let a man be pregnant? And
bro, it's a joke. Why would Instagram ban him for being pregnant? He's not actually fucking pregnant, you fucking idiot. Who the fuck is talking? Okay, yeah, this dumbass. The guy who went to jail for sexual assault for like 3 years. Free boozy, sexual assault.
And it's cool with all these young boys watching. You can let.
Bro, like, I'm not trying to shit on anyone, bro, but like, I think it's so funny, bro. People make some money rapping in the music industry and they think they have like a good opinion. Like, they think they're smart, they think they're educated, and they just say the dumbest fucking shit.
Let a man be pregnant on social media,
They were gonna
but
say
a woman
man.
can't show her nipple or her pussy print. Y'all better.
A woman can show her nipple or her pussy print, but Lil Nas X can have a synthetic pregnant belly on? What? A pregnant belly? Why can't I look at a woman's pussy and nipples on Instagram? Bro is not eating like he said, and that hair unit, bro, isn't helping out either. We can see right through it. Bald head.
Better wake up, bro.
Because of his reputation, Jack Harlow claimed he was advised not to work with Lil Nas X. However, the end result of Industry Baby giving him his first #1 meant that it clearly paid off. As for Lil Nas' debut album Montero, the record was received well in the commercial and critical worlds, scoring 126,000 first-week sales. But while the album did well, it's fair to say that no songs had the same buzz as those big singles, and there was a general mystery over where he went from there. However, Lil Nas suggested that he had a lot more to do, and he wasn't going to be defined by the success of Old Town Road.
He's like, bro, he just wanted pussy pics on Instagram. That's all. Bro doesn't even have a point.
In fact, he argued he would actually surpass it.
Is it hard to outdo yourself when you have the biggest song of all time and it continues to grow? Just went, what, 15 times platinum?
It's not. I mean, because there's always other areas that
next
I can
page,
go bigger in,
chat.
and it's always. I know for a fact. I promise this. So we'll have this footage when it happens. I'm going to have more weeks at #1 with a different song than Old Town Road. I promise.
Yet since then, it hasn't really panned out that way. Not only has he not replicated his earlier successes, but he's actually slid into irrelevance as his buzz and the marketing strategies which created it in the first place have began to lose their steam.
Yeah, I thought his marketing got pretty desperate, I will say that. You know what I mean?
Initial run, there was a lot made of how Lil Nas X seemed to have the knowledge of how to elevate his music with publicity stunts, as whenever there was controversy, he managed to use it to his advantage. But while some hailed him as a genius, others predicted that these ploys had a ceiling on them, at times even making unfavorable comparisons to explain where they felt he was as an artist.
I've now realized that Lil Nas X is nothing more than a talented troll. He's talented at gaining attention and leveraging the fact that he's homosexual.
No homo looking kind of cute.
Because we all care about the LGBT.
I'm gonna do a page
community.
next.
Lil
Bro,
Nas
I'll let
X
you up, man.
will use and troll that attention and keep drumming it up to hopefully promote records. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Lil Nas X is nothing but a gay 6'9".
Over the course of an explosive rant, Ak went even further.
Bro, who cares about DJ fucking academics, bro? He got banned on Twitch for being a pedophile.
And suggested that the whole strategy was transparent.
There's no judgment here when it comes to what you prefer, but it's only to disguise the fact that since Old Town Road, I don't know a song, and you could show them all these other songs hitting the charts, Spotify's listening crazy. I don't know another song. That's it. I think all he's doing is because he's not that talented. I don't think Lil Nas X is that talented. I think once I saw him just trying to troll it up.
Oh, I see. Fucking up.
Because let's rewind. The Lil Nas X breakaway song was a parody. He didn't make country music. He was a gay dude running a Nicki Minaj fan page and made a song.
Bro, what? Is this guy fucking brain dead? Does this guy like get fucking hit in the head with so many rocks he can't think? Bro, you can do more than one thing. You can run a fan page and still make music and do things. You can be gay and still make music. Being gay and running a fan page has nothing to do with making music.
As a joke.
Still, at the
That's
time,
fucking
Lil Nas
crazy,
acted
bro.
like the criticism couldn't possibly get to his head. He even suggested that he could take the hate in his stride, and he was angering the audience that he was intended to.
You handle it well. When people go at you, you handle it really well, which is surprising because most artists, they can't handle it. You see them break down, you see them get into problems, you see them
I definitely do break down sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm never gonna do that shit publicly.
That's the trick.
And I feel like anybody that's pissed off are the exact people that need to be pissed off, you know?
Clearly, this is a concept that Lil Nas X really has a lot of stake in,
Hey,
because
hey,
soon
hey.
it would lead to his first major mistake, when the track J Christ became the first time that his viral marketing either went too
I never
far
even
for
heard of
people
that.
or just got boring. A track where he depicted himself as Jesus, the song understandably enraged some people. It even
Yeah,
had
that's
Tyson
kind
out
of
ready to
cringe.
throw hands.
Like, that's kind of cringe. Like, just trying to piss someone off just for views. Like, you could say the same thing about like people who are like making fun of gay people. You know what I mean?
Even if his word
Is
choice
eating.
was a little ironic considering he was beefing with Lil Nas X.
No! Fuck that! Yo, Lil Nas X, you could eat my whole dick. I hate that nigga, bro. Nah, that shit just popped up in my head, bro.
I like how I like Tyson now, but this is like so performative. It fucking hurts. You don't like it, just don't fucking watch it, dumbass.
That nigga, bro, nah, word of my mother, bro. God gonna handle you in the right way. I didn't even talk about that yet, bro. But look, God gonna handle you, bro. And you're,
Bro, I like how Christians act like this. Bro, that's. I swear, I want to meet one Christian who reads the fucking Bible, bro. Cause dog. Like, that's not how God works, bro. Listen, you're supposed to bring people to Christ. You're supposed to witness as a Christian and follow the teachings of Jesus. You think if someone was like making fun of Jesus, Jesus is like, I swear to God, I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna fight the fuck out. No, he's like, you go to people with love, go to people with understanding, patience. Like, I've never met I mean, I don't want to say that. I know a couple good Christians, and they're close to me. But like most Christians are like the most aggressive, judgmental, hateful people. When Jesus Christ was the opposite. Turn the other cheek, love thy neighbor. Whoever sinned first cast the first stone. Jesus had a tax collector who was scamming people in his entourage. He had a harlot. Like, he didn't judge. He let everyone come to him. He accepted everyone so he could witness to them. He could talk to them and things like that. And it's like that whole concept is so gone. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. Agreed. Like, I was gonna say, Turk's a good one, bro. Like, I know he just talking about a lot, but I have a lot of respect for him, bro. He's like the only hope I have in Christianity is people like him. Just doesn't knows the log in there is exactly.
bro. No, bro. What he did? No, bro.
But
Like,
to others,
if
the fact
if religion and everyone treated me and everyone the way Turk treats everybody, bro, I would not have a qualm with religion, which I don't really at the end of the day, but I wouldn't be so against it.
that he was antagonizing religious groups again just seemed like he'd run out of ideas. He's carving himself out to be a one-trick pony.
But
and
antagonizing religious groups for views and profit is also cringe. So I don't. No one here is in the right.
Rick is already so damn tight.
Yeah.
He took the formula of his past success and transparently tried to replicate it in the most uninspired way imaginable. Just frantically smashing the rage bait
Factual
button.
facts.
I thought he was an exciting artist to watch
Say that
after his
too.
debut track. But if this track is any indication
But
of
bro,
what's
I
to
remember
come,
when I was a kid, bro. Like I was in church. I went to a church school. I was very, very, very religious, and my friends would talk bad about gay people and this and this and this, and I just like, bro, like. And I kind of had a bad mindset. I was like, bro, like, how are we gonna bring them back to Christ if we're so mean to them? Like we gotta witness, we gotta be accepting and talk to them. Then maybe they can see the error of their ways. I was a kid, obviously that was wrong, but I never saw the reason to fucking hate.
it's hard to be excited anymore. So while some people were
Imagine Mika Bukata. I love you no matter what, even if you are gay. We'll work on that later on.
enraged, others were just growing weary of the whole thing, and anyone who felt that the public were likely sick of the whole shtick were proven right when the track peaked
Better
at
than
number
most.
69 on
When I
the
was a
chart.
kid, bro,
As
that's just what I was taught and how everyone around me was. And like, I would say like I stopped like believing in Jesus and started breaking away from the church when I was like 13 or 14.
Backlash raged on. Lil Nas
But I also grew up
uncharacteristically
Jewish,
explained
so
himself.
I didn't grow up
I wanted
Christian.
to not necessarily apologize, but I wanted to explain like where my head at and where it's been for like the last week. So first of all, when I did the artwork, I knew like there would be some upset people or whatnot, simply because, you know, religion is a very
I'm starting to
sensitive topic
cook.
for a lot of people. But I also
I'm
didn't
starting to
mean to
cook.
like mock. This wasn't like a fuck you to you people, fuck you to the Christians. Like, you know, it was not that. It was literally me saying, oh, I'm back like Jesus. Like, that was like the whole thing. I'm not the first person to dress up as Jesus. I'm not the first rapper. I'm not the first artist. And I
Kendrick
won't be the
Lamar,
last.
Kendrick Lamar has a Lego set. It's coming pretty good. You can see I've made his stomach, it looks like.
However, the public didn't buy
Religious
it
trauma.
and suggested he only did so to try
Yeah.
and make amends.
I would
when the
definitely say
gamble
that
didn't pay off
Christians
like
are better than
before.
Jewish
You very
people.
clearly enjoyed the
The
controversy.
Jewish religion is
This
very,
whole
very
thing,
judgmental.
From the controversy to the apology,
This is what,
feels
so
very forced.
I'm allowed to say this. I'm 25% Jewish. I grew up going to a Jewish church and school synagogue, and my grandpa's 100% Jewish. Jewish people are some of the cringiest because they are the first person to judge people. They are very anti-black, anti-gay, anti-this, anti-that, anti-Christian, anti-everything that's not Jewish. But they're like, as soon as someone says something about them, oh no, stop, it's anti-Semitism, please. Dang, yeah. Jewish people think everyone who's a Gentile, which isn't Jewish, is gonna burn in an eternal hellfire. For the simple fact they might eat pork, or they might be gay, or they're just not Jewish. Like, Jewish people truly believe they are the chosen people by God.
Almost like you planned a
And I know that 'cause I
controversy and an
grew up
apology.
Jewish.
Left reeling from his first big flop, Lil Nas X tried to explain it further during a podcast appearance without really taking any ownership.
That
So
message like turned
uncomfortable. The gay Jews, the freakiest, so unfortunate. Yeah, you know a lot about that. Oh, goodness.
around, and I didn't know how.
But I used to get in trouble so much in school. We went to a private school and we'd have Bible class. And I remember my the pastor would come from the church to teach the Bible class, and I would argue with him all the fucking time about all kinds of shit. I would just like, I'd be like, well, what about, what? I just ask questions that like obviously when you ask Christians, or not even Christians, religious people those questions, it doesn't make sense.
How to like do anything with it. It wasn't my
Unless they're
chaos
practicing
anymore.
it the right
was
way.
the world's, and anything anybody said was true because that's who I am as a person. I'm this troll, and I want to.
Because like I'll say at the end of the day, like I think if religion was done right, it would not be a net negative on the world. Religion promotes a lot of equality according to the scriptures. It promotes a lot of love, a lot of morality. It promotes a lot of great things. You know what I mean? Like you read the Bible, it promotes a lot of great things. And it's just like, well, you know, these are sins. And people are like, well, if they're sinning, that person's sinning, I fucking hate them. I hate the sin. I want them. They're going to hell anyways. They're a piece of shit. They're evil in God's eyes. Like that's not how the Bible works. It was never made to work like that. You know what I mean? Like that's not just because someone sins doesn't mean you get to hate them. Doesn't mean you get to judge them. Doesn't mean you get to do these things. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. You just to show them more love and bringing them to Christ. Not the sinners, I said. It's been twisted.
To make these people mad, and so everybody can run with that. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can say as many things as I want, but knowing my history, they look right, I look wrong.
But while he used to look confident in everything he was putting out, Lil Nas admitted he was at a crossroads musically.
You've like been so like focused and like zoned in on what you're doing, and you push your art out into the world, and it's kind of like received negatively by like the majority. You know what I mean? But then like also understanding why and having to like see it through. So I guess that's where I'm at right now, and my next move
Of the
things
religious,
that I'm
exactly.
planning on right now. I feel like somewhere in here there's going to be this magical moment that I can't even take credit for, and yeah, I feel like that's going to sweep. I feel like that always happens. So
yeah, there's always magic in the messiness.
Yeah.
And just as he struggled to regain his footing after Jay Christ backfired on him, interest has been plummeting ever since. Now, fans have tried to rationalize why he's fading from sight. I feel like he's losing relevance, but it's only because he doesn't know what he wants his next persona to be, so he's trying different moods. For personal reasons, he's retreated from the public eye twice. Jay Christ got a low reception for him. So the label immediately put a bunch of restrictions on him releasing other things. At this time, this was just a fan theory. However, this notion of issues with his label was soon backed up by an account, which is rumored to be run by an undercover music industry insider who claimed in December of 2024 that Lil Nas X had his album scrapped. His label Columbia Records hated the project and asked for a new album. Only 3 songs were saved. Now 4 years on from the release of his debut album, Lil Nas X is in a tough spot. Now, music isn't hitting as it once did, and even the shock value wore off now that he's generated as much controversy.
The new tier of existence.
When he
I can
came
get
with
behind that
the first
religion.
record, everybody's like, what in the hell? He went from 0 to 100 instantly.
Real
It was like, quick, boom. He instantly was like, wow. And it gave people hope, like, yo, you might be onto something so dope that other little black boys can follow right behind you in this way, and it's showing that they don't have to just rap or do R&B or just like you're singing country music, right? But then the success hit him so hard, that was already part of his low. Then he had to come back around with the other joint where he comes out like, hey, here I am. So that was like, whoa. That was another part of that load. It was like, whoa. So then to come back, once he came out, then he came with the whole video, him giving the devil fellatio. It was just so extreme that I feel like he
I like how people just lie. It was a lap dance. He did not give the devil fellatio. Like, people, like, they just fucking lie. Like, that didn't happen, bro.
Low. Like, people were just at that point like, you can't surprise me with nothing else.
But the main problem for Lil Nas X is that people just aren't checking for him anymore. These days, behind the scenes footage of his old music videos pulled in more views than new music videos that he's releasing, and it's hard to imagine what it's going to take to change that. Even his dedicated fans are wondering where he goes from here. His new singles aren't doing numbers, and his biggest new single, Hotbox, only has 5 million streams so far. Is Lil Nas X cooked? Another major issue is that Lil Nas X doesn't seem to have the same belief as before.
Here's my thing with these artists. Like, when is enough enough? Like, you made music, you made millions of dollars. Who cares if you fall off? Don't let that shit ruin your life. Go do something else. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck?
Just look at this deleted post where he shared snippets and then second guessed himself, asking fans if they were any good. Been hoarding music for years, shaking my head. I hate my relationship with fear of my songs not doing well and perception. I wish I could just release music and not give a fuck. Anyways, enough venting here. What's your guys' top 2 of these snippets? Where criticism used to roll off his back, the backlash he's experienced in recent years has clearly infiltrated his mind. And one thing we know by now is that artists can triumph when they're in their heads to that degree. That's when you start trying to make music to appease audiences rather than just what you want. And now, the verdict is that he's making subpar tracks.
This is not a very catchy track from Nas X. He's written far catchier songs in the past. Like, the whole F Up the Night refrain feels like a forgettable hook from a Kid Cudi record from years ago. So yes, while it does sound big and it does sound expensive, simultaneously, it's shallow and it's not really bringing a whole lot to get excited about to the table.
Still, Lil Nas acknowledged as he briefly leaked the track Light Again that there's plenty more tracks where that came from, while also hinting at both conflicts with Columbia and how much he is struggling to deal with the pressure to follow up with what he's done before.
All the other shit, of course, like, I want to be number 1 all the time. I want
like,
every
for
song to
example,
go up and I want shit to go crazy. But
you should care to an extent.
I want to fucking have fun.
You shouldn't let it.
I want to go and live life. I just want to make music. I don't want to have to do crazy shit all the time. I want to make music. I want to fucking have fun. I want to live any fucking way.
You gotta that's why you're popular, is because you made the music you want.
It's my favorite song ever. Let's go. Too lean, too back ends,
No matter how much he hyped it up, the track's official video still only landed 3.5 million.
That's still fucking great, bro. Like, what are they talking about?
Without making any dent on the Billboard charts. And for him, that might as well be starting from the beginning all over again. Since then, Lil Nas X has been trying to fall back on his capacity for trolling.
This is a fucking foot. This is taking me forever to make this one fucking foot.
Steering into the idea of being blackballed with self-imposed humiliation rituals on the timeline.
Backpack, 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 backpack. Everything that you might need, I got it right for you.
But as his new Dream Boy album approaches, it feels like the buzz is basically non-existent. Honestly, the most attention he's gotten recently is from revealing he has Bell's palsy.
And when I smile, this is me doing a full smile right now, by the way.
It's like,
wearing a hat in the
like,
hospital is crazy.
bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Overall, Lil Nas X is an unfortunate example of what happens when an artist goes back to the well one too many times. Within an instant, people had enough of the same old scheme, and now he's trying to prove to them once more that he has something else to offer. But unless something big changes, he's gonna be stuck with people asking where it all went wrong.